Hi, loves. I need to find a name to call you, I think. Maybe queens. Yeah, I'm going to call you all my queens. Obviously, if there's any men watching, you can be kings, but I'm just going to address the queens, meaning kings, if any men are watching. Okay. Hello, queens. Today, oh my God, such an important topic, and I've actually just got off a live call from my Victoria's Secrets to Self-Love group, which is such a nice, amazing group, and I'm buzzing from it. So if you do want to join, I would love to have you. Just let me know if you want more info. Today I'm talking about limiting beliefs and how to change your limiting beliefs, because limiting beliefs keep us small. Limiting beliefs are our ego actually just trying to take care of us and to protect us. So underneath everything, all there is love. But your ego, which is your limiting beliefs, is only trying to help you to survive. Whereas your soul, your connection to the divine, who we actually are, is trying to help you thrive. So your ego is keeping you alive and your soul wants you to thrive. Good morning, darling. So what do you want? It's always a choice. But before I go into that, I'm just going to walk you through how you can start to unlearn your limiting beliefs, because this process is where we break down the root cause of our thoughts, our attitudes, our behaviours, and our biases. So what is a belief? A belief is a thought or thoughts, if we have more than one, that we have playing over and over and again in our head so many times that they become our truth. And it doesn't necessarily mean this thought only has to come from you. It can come from somebody else constantly telling you something that then becomes the truth for you, so you believe it. Or it can simply be something you've watched someone else tell someone else, and you then also believe that. So it's basically something that you've heard that keeps playing over again in your mind that becomes the belief. And you know what? We attract to us and into our lives what we believe. So this is the hard part for people to grasp, because what we often believe about ourselves or our life comes true for us because we attract that into our lives. That's where the magic gets real. That was a massive realization for me when I heard that, and I was like, shit, yeah, that is so true. So how do we change these limiting beliefs? Okay, so an example of a belief is the sky is blue. That's a belief. And I know that sounds messed up because you're like, well, the sky is blue, so that's a fact, not a belief. No, it's a belief. Like, how do you know what the colour blue is? Who said that? How do you know the sky's blue? Okay, so the sky is blue is actually a belief. We can pretty all much agree to that, right? That the sky is blue. This belief is not harmful and it won't stop you from getting on a plane. But what about the beliefs that do stop you from doing the things you want? Common limiting beliefs, from what I see from my clients, from my past self, etc., are things like, I'm not good enough. That's a big one. My body is horrible. No one cares what I have to say. Or I just can't stop binge eating. They're limiting beliefs. The list goes on, right? And to be honest, you don't realise some of the beliefs you have are limiting because you just assume them to be true. So before we go into the process, it's important for you to understand that you don't have to believe everything you think. You are not your thoughts. I can sit and think now about going to get a jar of Nutella. I always bring on Nutella because it's amazing, and eating it with a spoon, the whole jar. I can think about doing that. It doesn't mean I'm going to. And by the way, I allow myself to do that. I can go and completely on a little tangent for 2 seconds, which is what I always do. I can go and eat 10 pints of ice cream right now and not be in binge territory. I can put myself on a keto lifestyle right now and not be in diet territory, because I haven't got diet mentality anymore. I choose. Okay, that was a complete tangent, but anyway, back to what I was saying about beliefs. You are not your thoughts. So you can even think about killing someone if you want to, but it doesn't mean you're a murderer or that you're going to actually do that. So that's really important to know. You are not your thoughts. You don't have to believe everything you think, even though it gets thought in your own head. So the thing is, though, you don't actually have control over all of your thoughts that come into your mind, because they're just there. It's just a thought. It just comes from nowhere, right? So you don't have control of stopping the thoughts coming in, but you do have control of what you do with those thoughts. You have control of what you choose to do with the thoughts that have come into your head. So again, going back to that Nutella analogy, I can think now I'm going to eat a jar of Nutella, but I can choose if I act on that thought or not, okay? So you have the power to choose your beliefs. So let's start the unlearning process then. So think of your big dream or big goal that you have to achieve, and write it or them, write them all down now, and then write the reasons why you cannot achieve it. The bigger and more unrealistic your goal is, the easier of a time you'll have finding your limiting beliefs. So write down a goal and write down all the reasons why you can't achieve this goal. They're your limiting beliefs, okay? That's number one. Feel free to pause. Okay, no, you can't pause it because I'm live. If you listen to this on a podcast or whenever or after, feel free to pause this and come back to it, or just jot it down now as I'm talking. So number one, tell me your goal and tell me why you can't achieve this goal. Number two, each reason why you can't achieve your goal is most likely a limiting belief. So take each belief through this series of questions on paper. And if you want this written down, this is the article I've written for this week's podcast episode. So it is all written down as an article. So I'll put that in the comment section of these live videos. So this is what you're going to ask yourself. You're going to look at your limiting beliefs that you've wrote down, and you're going to ask yourself, where did that belief come from? That's one question. The next one, does this support my mental, emotional, or physical health? So does believing this limiting belief support my mental, physical, and emotional health? Next question, is this belief in alignment with the life I want? So believing these things, is that going to get me where I want to be? Is that the person who I want to be? The next question, is this congruent with my authenticity and the person I am and the person I want to become? Similar question to the one above. Is this who I want to be? Do I want to have these limiting beliefs? And then the last question, do I believe this to be true to myself? If you're struggling with that one, reach out to me. I can help you around that. So those are the questions you should ask your limiting beliefs that you've written down. So step number 3, take the time to acknowledge where these beliefs came from and consciously decide to let them go. And I know that sounds simple. It is simple, but it's not easy. Number 4, write out your new beliefs. What do you want to believe to be true for yourself? Because you get to choose. You are your creator. You get to choose. And this is a really good one. Who do you need to become in order to accomplish your goal? These new beliefs that you're writing now become your intentions, become your I am statements, your affirmations, what you journal about every day, what you think about. So let me give you an example of a business limiting belief. When I first started my business, even now I still have loads of limiting beliefs that I'm working my way through and I'm choosing to release. My big limiting belief was, I don't know what I'm doing. Because I don't. And guess what? I still don't. But I have chosen to take my limiting beliefs, I don't know what I'm doing. That was just one. I had many. And then be like, okay, where's this come from? And that limiting belief has came from my whole childhood. People saying that, oh, I've got the looks but not the brains, like joking. Well, whatever. Beauty is in the eyes of the beholder, right? And I love myself and accept myself exactly where I am. Doesn't mean I think I'm the most beautiful woman in the world, but I got told my whole life that I'm silly and stupid from, they said it in a like endearing way, like a cute way, but I was told constantly I was stupid, I don't know anything, and it was more based on my looks. How I'm going to get what I want in life is just to go through men through my looks, and that's a vulnerable thing I've just shared with you, but that's what I believed. So I did that, and it got me so far. But then inside here, I didn't love myself at all. So I've done a lot of work around that. Oh my God, I'm getting so emotional today. I've just been on a call with my girls and I've like cried like 2 times. So that was my limiting belief. So I knew that that had come from all my past conditioning, all the past comments that had been made, and it almost became it was my identity, the silly one that doesn't get anything, right? That's where this belief had came from. And it became true for me because I didn't get stuff. I would give up and be like, oh, I just don't get that because I'm not clever. I'd put my energy into making my body look amazing instead. So I got validation, right? This was my limiting belief. I chose to work on releasing that belief. I chose to find out where it came from, make peace with it, and decide, actually, no, that's not what I want to believe, because that's not going to serve me in my business. That's not going to help me get my message out to you guys and to the world that need my help through the pain I've been through and through what I've learned through this process. So that's limiting for me. That is not who I want to be. So I rewrote a new belief. I find a way. Everything is figure outable. You know, I've not gone from I don't know anything to I know everything, because I don't, and I'll never know everything. No, nobody will. So my new belief is everything is this happens all the time. I'll figure it out. I'll make it work. I'll go on live and use these live videos to also do a YouTube video and a podcast at the same time, even though it's not edited and perfect and whatever. But you know what? It's about my message. So I'm just going to figure it out and I will attract the right people. So that was my new belief, okay? And then number 5 is do the daily work that is required to make this become a new belief for you. So in order for you to believe this new belief, you've got to write them out daily. Oh, what's happened to my screen? Come back to me. Am I still on? Yeah, sorry, that just randomly, yeah. Come back, sorry, I got distracted. My computer was being crazy. So number 5, do the work daily. You've got to write these affirmations out daily. You've got to say them to yourself every day. And I know this sounds a bit like, oh, well, it did for me when I first started learning about this. I was like, oh my God, seriously, I've got to like write them out. But yeah, because that's where the work and the magic happens. And what I do is I have an app on my phone. Type in your Play Store or your App Store, affirmations. Loads of apps will come up. Pick one. You can actually record your own voice saying your affirmations, and you can press play back. So when I'm getting ready in the morning, like after I had a shower, doing my face, blah, 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 that's on in the background. And that is powerful because it's your own voice saying these statements to you, and your subconscious mind is absorbing these. And guess what happens when you tell your subconscious mind this is the truth? It goes and finds that thing. Remember, we attract to us what we believe is true for us. If I believe I'm never going to be successful in business and make any money, I will attract that belief, which is why we believe it's true, because it's like the truth for us. So it's up to us to take our power back and change our beliefs. So do the daily work that's required to change your life, to change your mindset. And once you do this work, share with me what your new beliefs are. Share with me what you would like to believe about yourself. Because nothing means anything unless someone gives it a meaning. So the sky is blue. I started off with that belief. That's not a fact. You believe that because the whole world believes that. It gets your whole mind fucked up sometimes. Sorry to swear. But I would love to know what your limiting beliefs are. I would love to know what your new beliefs are. And I would love to know if you need help with the bit in between. It does take daily work, but the first new belief I want you all to adapt is I believe everything is possible, because it is. You really can have, be and do anything you want. You've just got to believe it and take steps towards getting it and get help from a coach. I'm a coach. I can help you. from a friend, get an accountability partner, be like, okay, yeah, I heard this girl, Victoria, she said this, let's do it together. Just get help, or just go it alone. Just keep going and keep doing the steps. So if you'd like any more info about that, please reach out to me. I absolutely love questions. Love questions. So I'm here if you need me. Have an amazing weekend if you listen to this at the weekend, and sending you so much love. See you later.